wonder what separates good managers from great managers, or great managers from good managers? I want to share with you what I feel separates them. And it's a willingness to do things. It's that simple. They're just not willing to do the things that great managers do. I know you probably heard that before, but I want to tell you a story. When I first got into the car business many years ago, and it was my very first car I sold that I learned what a great manager is. It happened to be my dad, okay, which I respected because he was my dad, but I respected him even more because of the great manager that he was. Because he mentored me during those years I was with him. And then we later went on to buy a used car lot, and he mentored me through those years. And then I was fortunate enough to work for Ira Rosenberg, who mentored me, moved me into management, made me learn how to do F&I, made me learn how to do sales management. Those people made me strong managers. And then I met Denny Sims, another mentor, while I was with David Lewis and Associates. And he taught me a lot about training and how to train people. He talked about multiplying myself through others. Those were great managers. And what separated them from good managers is they were leaders. They didn't just walk the walk, they talked the walk. They did it, okay? Or was it the other way around? Talk the walk the walk. Whatever it was, they did it, okay? They led by example. They weren't afraid to praise, and they weren't afraid to criticize either. But that's what made me stronger. Because if it wasn't for those few that I met along the way, David Lewis, one of them, those are all my mentors. Those were great managers. And let me tell you something. When I first got in the car business, my dad was a manager. He'd step off that desk and he'd help to close a deal. And he'd sit with the customer and basically say the same things I would say, but was more demanding because of the confidence, the level of confidence that he had in being a great manager. Because knowledge is power. And the more you know about being a manager, the better you're going to be. To go from the sales floor to management without being trained or without seeking knowledge through social media, through the internet, or through reading books, you're going to be stagnant. You're not going to go from good to great. You want to move from good to great, sometimes you got to invest in yourself. You got to develop yourself. You got to seek out that knowledge I keep talking about. And you can Google it, or you can go to Barnes & Noble and buy a friggin' book. Whatever it does, just do it. Manage your people. Stimulate action. That's what great managers do. They don't just sit on their ass. They Goya. They get off their ass. They make things happen. They don't wait for things to happen. That's what separates great managers from good managers. Great managers get out in the trenches, and when times are slow, they get enthusiastic about it, and they build momentum through motivation, and they get their people on the phones, and they give their people training lessons. That's what great managers do. They don't just tell sales consultants what to do. They go out and do it. They show them how to do it. They train and retrain. They block and tackle. That's what good managers do. They build strong sales forces. They build strong people. They're mentors. Seek out mentors for those of you who want to go from good to great. Look back at your mentors. Look back at the people who put you in the position you're in and the things that they did. You need to expand off those attributes. And the only way to do that is to constantly learning, constantly training, constantly practicing. That's what great managers do. You know, becoming a great manager isn't a destination. It's a journey. Because once you become a great manager, you get better and better and better. But if you're stuck in good and you're not moving to great, you need to do things, sometimes on your own. I mentioned it before, you got to invest in yourself. Sometimes a monetary investment, sometimes a mental investment. Whatever investment it is, the best critic you have is yourself. So take a good look in the mirror and say to yourself, I might be good, but how do I get great? How do I become better? I know you're not bad because you wouldn't be watching this video if you were a bad manager, because you're here to seek out information. So hopefully I'm motivating you to go further along in your career. I'm motivating you to get in your car and drive down to Barnes & Noble, to get on the internet. Instead of going to Facebook, go to Google and start Googling information on how to become a great manager. There's a book out there, Good to Great. It's a great book. When I was with AutoNation, they made us read it. There is a little difference sometimes between good and great. And sometimes there's a big difference. You have to determine how far away you are from becoming great. And remember, becoming great is a journey. It's not a destination, okay? Until you retire. And retire great. Don't retire good. Retire great. Because if you retire great, you feel really great about yourself. Your family's important to you too, okay? I'm not talking health, all that other stuff. I'm talking work, all right? You get into work to work, not just go to work. So what's the difference between a great and good manager? Again, great managers, they do the right things. They do the thing that take them outside of their comfort zone. How many times you heard me say your comfort zone is a great place to be, really comfortable in there, but nothing ever grows there. Sometimes you got to step outside that comfort zone. You know, I told an analogy one time. I thought it was a good one, but I guess it didn't relate to many people. It was about a bird. From my pool, I would watch this bird, little bird, go halfway across the lake. and come back because there was a lot of noise on the other side of the lake. But as it got bigger and bigger, it would go a little bit further, but it always kept coming back. The fact of the matter is, it made it halfway. It could have made it all the way a year ago. So you got to go for it, man. Don't give up. You're halfway there. Now get all the way there. So go from good to great. It's not that hard. And it doesn't take a lot of investment. It takes some time. It takes some mental fortitude. But you'll know when you get there because people will respect you even more. People will look up to you. People will talk about you. People will talk with you. Talk with you? Sometimes you might be so great, they might be intimidated. But that's not going to happen because you're going to go out there and you'll go good to great. So remember, what separates good managers from great managers is just simply a willingness. A willingness to do the thing that take you outside your comfort zone. Because once you step outside that comfort zone, you never know what's going to happen. And sometimes you got to take a risk. Nothing wrong with taking risks, Don't overthink things. Just go ahead and do it. Become a great manager. It's not that hard. And it doesn't take that much. It just takes a willingness. It's all about attitude. And you control your attitude. Hope that was good advice. Hope it motivated you. That's about all I have to say about good to great managers. There's plenty of stories along the road. I don't consider myself great yet. I'm pretty good at what I do, but I'm still striving to get to great. You should do the same. Until next time, go get them. Don't forget to visit www.prodprep.com. A lot of information on becoming great on that website. Talk soon.